All right, so this video is about the law of sines and how to use it. The law of sines can be used to find angle or side and angle measurements, giving two angles on any side. This is angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle, or two side lengths and an angle outside of them. So that would be side, side, angle. So what we're talking about would be like angle, angle, side. So if you know these two in a row and then this side, or angle, side, angle. So angle C, side A, and angle B. Or side, side angle. So that would be angle A, or side A, side C, and angle A. So it cannot be angle B. So it could be angle C and angle A with side A and C, but not angle B that is made by those sides. So first of all, let's get a formula. So if you have the sine of A, that's over the length of side A. So capitals are angles, smalls are sides. That's going to equal the sine of B over B, which also equals the sine of C over C. So we can use this ratio to figure out what's missing. So if we look down at questions 1 and 2, and I'll just do several of these so that we get, a good handle on this. You have to find the missing measure. So the missing measure is shown by x's. So just make sure you're getting the right thing. So what we can do here is we can use any pair of these that we want. So we can use, A and B together. We can use B and C together, or we could use A and C together. So you just need 2 out of the 3 to set up the ratio. So since we know, so let's think about that, if this is side A, side B, side C, then the angles that coordinate with them are across from them. So this would be A, B, and C, like that. So make sure that you are looking at these correctly as you do this. So if we know the pair for A, so we know that the sine of 34 goes over 10, then we can use the sine of B, which is 52, over X, because that would be little b. Okay, so you cross multiply, so you have X sine, and I wrote this way too big, 34 equals 10 sine of 52. Make sure your calculator is back in degrees. So, and some of the stuff that we did with the unit circle, we had to switch to radians. So make sure that you are back in degrees. I'm having to switch mine right now. So then we're going to do 10 times the sine of 52. I guess I could pull up the calculator so you can see what I'm doing. That would probably be super nice. So I'm going to do 10. What is happening? My goodness. 10 times the sine of 52. And let's real quick, because I was making sure the other one was on degrees. So this one is too. And so that's going to be this part. But then we can do this all in our calculator. So since this is X times sine of 34, then to find X, we need to divide by the sine of 34. Okay, so that will cancel that out and we'll just be left with X. So then we're going to take that and divide it by sine of 34. So the answer to this, and I have used way too much room, so I'm going to put up here that X equals 14.1 degree. That looks horrible. And notice that it says round to the nearest tenth, so that's why I did 0.1. Okay, let's do 2 and see if maybe I can do it without making a huge mess. So we know that 21 goes with 7. So I'm going to have sine of 21 over 7, and then sine of 119 goes with x. Okay, so then you have to cross multiply. So you're going to have x sine of 21 equals 7 times, oh, I'm going to run out of room, sine of 119. Then I have to divide by sine of 21 in order to get x by itself. Now, you can put this all in at one time using a fraction if you would like to. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I hit ours somehow. Perhaps I should have not done this after school, because apparently I've lost my mind and I can't remember how to do anything. And then sine of 21. Okay, so you can do it all at one time like that instead of doing it the other way with division if you would like. So this one is 17.1 degree. Okay, let's see. All of these are just finding a missing side. So I'm just going to go on and do 4, and then I'm going to go down here and do 5 and 6 together. So this one is different. Well, actually 5, 3, and 4 are different. So in order to do this, we have to know this angle that is across from x. We can't set up our ratio without it. So since we know 2 angles and this other side, now we are doing, so we had done angle, angle, side. That's what 1 and 2 were. Now we're going to do angle, side, angle. So we have the 2 angles and then the side. So we've got to get this other angle. So to do that, you just do 180, subtract both of those other angles, and that is what is left. So this is just 71. So then you're going to do sine of 64 over 32 equals sine of 71 over x. And so then you're going to have x times sine of 64, and then 32 times sine of 71, divide by sine of 64, and that's going to just leave you with your x. So I want to make a fraction. Let's see if I can do this without messing it up this time. Over sine of 64. So that gives us 33.7 degrees on that one. Okay, we got to do the same thing here. Let me switch to a different color so it's not all green. So we're going to do 180 minus 110 minus 41. So that means this other angle is 29. So we had to know that to set up our proportion. This one, x didn't have its mate. On this one, the 19 didn't have its mate. So I know this is a strange looking triangle because it's obtuse, but 19 goes with 29 and 110 goes with x. So we're going to have the sine of 29 over 19 equals the sine of 110 over x. So then you've got x sine of 29 equals 19 sine of 110. And we know that we're going to divide. I'm just going to go ahead and type it in just to save some room, because I'm writing so big that it's hard to tell. And then on the bottom, we've got the sine of 29. Okay, so just like that is how you're going to set that up, and then that's 36.8 degrees. Okay, so those are the two different ways to use law of sines with your angle side and your angle side angle. So you have two angles and a side, either the side in between them or the side after them. All right, 5 and 6 are also going to use angle side and angle side angle. And then the next page that I'll do in the next video is where we switch to side side angle, which is different. All right, so 5 and 6 say Kevin, Adam, and Dan are passing a hockey puck. How far is Kevin from Adam? How far is Dan from Kevin? So here we've got those guys at the points on this triangle. The only thing we know is that Adam is 25 feet away from Dan, and the angles that Kevin and Dan and Kevin and Adam are standing at each other. So for Kevin and Adam, so we've got Kevin and Adam, and we want to know this. So that means that we have to do the sine of 86 over 25 equals, oh, I did that wrong, didn't I? No. Oh, I forgot to subtract and get this. I knew there was something missing. So 180 minus 71 minus 86. So that's 23. So then we're going to have sine of 23 over x. And so then sine of 86, or x sine of 86 equals 25 sine of 23. And then I'm going to go, this is going to be like a shortcut, 25. This is what I should have done on the previous one. Over sine of 86, and then we can just say what that equals at the end. So 25 sine of 23 over sine of 86. So the thing you have to remember is you have to get the ratio set up correctly before you start, and then it's just cross multiplying and dividing. And if you do the cross multiplying and set up the dividing and put it in as a fraction, then you only have to type in one thing, and so that's really great. All right, so this is, did I say all of these were degrees? None of those are degrees. They're all feet or measurements. Oh my goodness, y'all, it's been a long day. So I need to take this degree off every single one of these. The reason that I noticed that is because right here I was fixing to do, so this is 9.8 feet, and I was like, I have not done any feet. So they are 9.8 feet apart. Okay, for 6, how far is Dan from Kevin? So now we're talking about, I'm going to change this to a Y. Actually, let's change colors too, just so that it's very clear. So we need to find Y. So this time we're going to do 86 and 25 and 71 and Y. So we're going to use what we know for Kevin's angle, this 86 over 25 again. And that's okay. You can use it twice, no big deal. So we have the sine of 86 over 25 again equals the sine of 71 over Y. So Y is across from 71, so that's why that's the one we're using. Okay, so just like before, we're going to have Y sine of 86 equals 25 sine of 71. Then when you set that up with the division, you've got 25 sine of 71 over sine of 86. So we're just typing that into the calculator, and we get 23.7 feet apart. And so Dan and Kevin are 23.7 feet apart. This is obviously not 100% to scale, but I do believe that the angles are probably measured correctly. So this is an accurate representation of them. And you can tell that Adam and Dan are slightly further apart than Kevin and Dan. So hopefully that makes sense to you.